Hi and welcome back to GM Details. In today's video I'm going to give you an update on how the Bilt Hamber Touchon has been doing over the last month, and we're going to try something a little different as well. Keep watching! So it seems that Sunday the 21st of March 2021 will be a date which many of you will remember and celebrating quite wildly here. This went on from about 2:30 till about midnight, these celebrations, so well done to the whichever team won. I presume it was the blue team. Not really much interested in football, but get back to this, more interested on how Touchon has performed over the last month. As you can see, it's a month in total between washes. This is the grime, and I think on a white car over the weather that we've had through winter, it's done remarkably well at the sort of keeping itself clean ability. Very little dirt actually on it, and you can see where the lines and the rain has sort of allowed some dirt to come through. So we're going to now try something a little bit different with Touchless. Rather than using it in the snow foam lands, we're going to use it in a pump sprayer. Uses a whole lot less product, and hopefully we'll get the same sort of results. So let's just give it a try. We'll mix up only 40 millilitres of Touchon in 1 litre of water in the pump sprayer. Now the pump sprayer is an IK pump sprayer. You can either get a sprayer or a foamer, and the sprayer would be ideal for applying a pre-wash product. What you've just got to bear in mind though is that by applying it via a sprayer, you're not going to have any foaming action, so it will still work, but it just won't produce any foam. I've just poured out just a little bit more than the required 40 ml. I'm just going to pour some back in, remeasure. Yep, that looks like 40 ml. Let's just put that into the IK foamer and top up to the litre with some water. And that's us good to go. So these pump sprayers actually work better if you don't fill them to the max. I think the capability of this is like 1.5 litres, something like that. So if you keep it around about the 1 litre and then pump it, it's the air that pressurizes above the liquid that allows it to spray out. So if you pump it up to if you fill it up to the max, if you pump it, then you're only going to get about 20-30 seconds worth of spray. So if you allow it just that little bit of extra space, then there's more air can be pressurized, therefore you'll get more out of it. So anyway, how is it applying? So I didn't pre-rinse the car because I wanted the product to do the work, and as you can see there, the dirt was only very lightly sticking to the side of the car, so I'm hoping that the pre-wash is going to do very well, because as you can see, it's already running off. Now normally I would wash the wheels first before I touch any part of the bodywork in the car. That's just my routine. I'm not going to show that in this video because I'm actually recording two videos at the same time. One is a wheel cleaning video. So the wheels are actually washed, don't worry. What we're concentrating on here is how well Touchless is doing with Touchon having been applied a month ago. And there you can clearly see that it's removing grime. Relative ease of the pressure washer, just removing that top layer of dirt and grime very easily indeed, leaving very little behind for the contact wash. Now I'm going to be an absolute pedant here and just look at this little line on the back bumper. Now the car looks absolutely amazing at the moment. Again, it's a trick of the light. The camera hasn't really picked up on how much dirt is left, and the only thing it's picking up is this dirt line here. So through the rinsing process we'll just see if it can remove the black I think it's brake dust. I think that's been trailed behind and through a wet day. It was out driving. I'll hurry up and rinse the wheel here so we can see. Get on the back bumper. There we go. And yeah, it's not really touching it. The line's still there, but again, easily removed in the contact wash. It is nitpicking to the nth degree, but you know, got to be done, isn't it? Now, everyone's idea about whether protection has still been left on the car vary, I find. So I'll leave this up to you to answer me in the comment section below whether you feel that after a month there has been sufficient protection left or whether it is completely dead. In my eyes, it's strange because remember I said in the earlier video that it sticks, or the protection bonds more to the plastic areas than the metal areas, and it's still quite evident here. If you look to the right hand side, you'll see very fast sheeting on the sort of runners of the edge of the roof line there, but on the metal parts then it's just that little bit slower. But again, we haven't washed the car yet, so it's still going to have possibly a layer of traffic film to remove. So let's just reserve judgment till after we've washed it, and then we'll come back and have a look at it then. Now sadly I don't have any auto wash to hand, so I'm going to use the next one of my favourite, absolute favourite top 5 shampoos, Garage Therapy 1 Car Shampoo. Now this stuff is incredible. I mean, as little as 20 millilitres in a massive bucket like that produces amazing amount of foam and amazing slickness as well. I mean, look how easy that mitt is just gliding backwards and forwards over the roof line there. It's fantastic, this shampoo. If you want to know about a review that I did a while back on that particular shampoo, nice flick there. I'll pop a link up right now and you can click on that after you've watched this video. Any good lip readers? It's what happens when you find a stone chip on your car door. Absolutely raging. So we'll just give it a quick rinse off and we'll have a look and see if there's any protection after our contact wash. That's the car as clean as it can possibly be without going further into a chemical decontamination. So Touchon for me has really been more of a sheeting product rather than a beading one. You won't be presented with lovely marble-like beads after a rain shower. But for me, you know, a sheeting product, I quite enjoy them now. I'm not getting so much watermarks after a rainy day, after the dirt from the sand from the Sahara comes through and drops on your car in the rain. I'm finding that it's also helping that after I wash the car and I'm about to dry the car, that it's drying a little bit quicker. It's helping to dry it because as the water is sheeting off the car. That's just my findings, so if you have anything different, let me know in the comments. So I'll try and show that here on the roof. So I've got a sprayer we have very little beads on the roof as it is, and with the spray it's really just flooding the panel, but it will sheet off and it will leave a cleaner, drier panel rather than beading, if that makes sense. So it's really up to whatever you prefer. I mean, but then again, we haven't really applied any top up to this, so you know, it could well be that after it's been topped up 2-3 times, maybe that hydrophobic properties come back and you will get more better beading. Who knows? Bilt Hamber suggests that you don't apply this any more regularly than once a month. So that month's up, so now it's time to go and top it up and see how we get on. So I said at the beginning of the video, we're going to try something a little different. This is the second different application of the product, and this time obviously for Touchon, we're going to spray it on rather than snow foam it on. Now this is what was left, the leftovers if you like, from the last application through the snow foam lance. Didn't waste it, poured it into a bottle, and this is it. So there's roughly about 200 millilitres left, and I'm just going round, just applying the light mist. Now the trigger I'm using is a Canyon trigger. Those are particularly good at atomising a product to apply on the car. If it's a windy day, you will lose some of it in the air, but you know, you can always twist the nozzle around just a little bit further just to have less atomisation and more direct spray onto the car. Now it says to apply it and leave it for a few minutes and then obviously rinse off under pressure. Now the disadvantage of using this method is your hand. You just, that constant trigger action gets really stiff. I find, maybe it's just me, I'm getting old. Possibly even you know, you could use this in a pump sprayer as well. Certainly an option to try. Now, really trying to avoid the windscreen here with using this, because I hate any spray sealants drifting in the wind and attaching themselves, bonding themselves onto the windscreen, because for me it makes a streaky mess, makes your wipers just streak all over the place, and I do as much as I possibly can to avoid it. I just like my wipers to wipe on the glass, to have a nice clean even sweep without any ghosting. So I think that's enough of watching applying the product. Let's see what happens when we get the pressure washer onto it. So from these shots, comparing the two side by side, I don't think you can really say there's anything major significant to report on them. Both of them just look just exactly the same. Remember, the original application was applied via snow foam, and the second application was applied via trigger. I don't really think there's much to go on between the two of them. What do you think? So I'll just give you my final thoughts as we go and dry the car off. Now this drying towel here, if you like it, it's going to be appearing in a review coming up shortly. So if you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe so that you can see the review when it lands. Now, Touchless. Now, I haven't changed my mind on it. I still really like it. Although it's a little bit more expensive than Autofoam, I just think it cleans that little bit better for being slightly less alkaline. Not that really, it's up there in the sort of high ends of the alkalinity scale. I think it's 14 and it's for Autofoam and just slightly less for Touchless. But I still like it. I like the fact that it doesn't produce a hell of a lot of foam. I like the fact that it cleans very well. It clings quite well. And of course you can use it the same way in a pump sprayer or a trigger sprayer as you do with Autofoam. So both chemicals will do just as good a job as each other really. There's very little in it. But I think if I was going to buy another cleaning chemical from Bilt Hamber, I think I would go for Touchless. So that's my thoughts on it. Touchon, I think it's wrong that it has individual sachets. I don't like the environmental impact on having the individual sachets with that. It would be far better if they just came out with a single bottle, which was easily and widely recycled, or you could use the bottle for something else. But with that aside, let's just take a look at what Touchon actually can offer you. Now the website says that it's a durable hydrophobic ceramic paint protection treatment that additionally has low foaming, powerful detergency for more second stage bucket washes, so that you can further clean the paint while simultaneously applying protection following touchless cleaning. Once applied, Touchon has dirt releasing properties too that work in conjunction with Touchless in subsequent wash routines to produce superior contactless results. Personally, I don't think there will ever be a contactless wash routine by using both chemicals in combination. I like what it does, I like the idea of the two of them working in harmony, and I like the gloss and I like the slickness of the product, and I like the fact that it does, or it has kept the car cleaner than usual for the last month. And I think if you can just take out of it just what it is, it's a simple spray and rinse hydrophobic treatment, maybe a topper for a wax, a topper for a ceramic coating, but on its own it really offers very little in effect of what you might call any sort of ceramic protection. Only lasts a month after all. But I'll still love the gloss, looks amazing, and I'll continue using it, but I don't think I'll buy it again. So I've reached the end of the video. Thank you very much for watching, and if you think the video will be of any use to someone who's thinking about using the products, please share it with them or in a group that you're in. So again, thank you very much. I'd like to thank Stu Preston yet again for the excellent music provided. I'll see you all on the next video. Cheery bye now.